Paul McCartney has responded with deep regret and sorrow to recent controversial remarks made by Julian Lennon, the son of late Beatle John Lennon. In an emotionally charged interview, McCartney addressed Julian's accusation that the Beatles legend was a hypocrite who contributed to tearing apart the Lennon family during the band's infamous breakup in 1970. Julian Lennon, now 61, recently criticized McCartney and the surviving Beatles in a candid podcast appearance, claiming the band's implosion went hand in hand with the breakdown of his parents' marriage. "People worship the Beatles, but they don't see the damage that was done behind closed doors," Julian said. "My dad left, the band moved on, and I was left with the wreckage. It was hypocritical, all the peace and love while families like mine were falling apart." In a heartfelt response, McCartney, 82, acknowledged Julian's pain and expressed his sadness over the lingering emotional fallout from that turbulent period. "It was tough to hear," McCartney admitted. "I've known Julian since he was a baby. To hear that kind of hurt coming from him, it's heartbreaking. I don't take it lightly." While defending himself against the label of hypocrisy, McCartney stopped short of denial. Instead, he offered a sobering reflection on the chaos of the Beatles' final years and the unintended impact it had on those closest to the band. "I wouldn't call myself a hypocrite," McCartney said, "but I regret deeply that Julian felt abandoned. That's not something we ever intended. John loved him, in his own complicated way. We all did. But we were wrapped up in the madness, the fame, the arguments, the pressure. We didn't see the collateral damage." McCartney also shared that he has reached out to Julian privately since the statement. "I've sent him a message," he said. "Just told him I'm here if he wants to talk. I'm not looking to argue or defend myself. I just want him to know I hear him and I care." Julian Lennon has long had a strained relationship with his father's legacy and has often spoken about the contrast between John's activism and his shortcomings as a father. McCartney noted that John's efforts to be a more present father to his second son, Sean, may have added to Julian's pain. "There were things John felt guilty about, I think," McCartney reflected, "but he had a hard time expressing it." When asked what he would say to Julian directly, McCartney paused before offering a message filled with empathy. "I'd say, I'm sorry, Jules. I wish we'd done better. I wish your childhood hadn't been caught in the crossfire of something so big." As the Beatles' legacy continues to be celebrated worldwide, McCartney's response serves as a reminder of the real human stories behind the music, stories filled with brilliance, but also with wounds that still ache decades later.